they did that?
It was weird, son. Yeah.
Okay, so we're back again. Welcome to Lawal Love. And like John said, if you have not checked out our first podcast, go check it out. It's very cool. I may be a little biased. So we were discussing this morning a heated
conversation. Heated.
About finances.
Word.
So I'm a saver and John is a spender, right? Would you?
Relative to you, yes.
Relative to me, he's a spender.
Yes.
I think he can save if it's for something.
Yeah.
Like me, I just want to have savings, and it gets me all giddy to have savings.
Just to have savings.
Yeah, like with no reason to spend them ever, and so that kind of can create some friction. Yeah.
Tension.
Yes.
Miscommunications and stuff like that.
Okay, sure. And in a marriage, that's one of the major problems people find themselves in. Like one of the major reasons for divorce is finances. So it's important to figure out a way to compromise and to discuss things without it getting so heated, right?
Word. And personal.
And personal, right?
Yeah.
Like not attacking each other.
And to remember that you're a team.
Yes, and to remember that you're a team.
And looking out for best interests.
Yes, that we have.
And also for you to reflect on yourself and be like, all right, how can I be better? What am I doing that I could do better in this, situation?
Yeah, whenever you're in a discussion, I feel like the best thing you can do is reflect on how can I make this interaction more positive? How can I help resolve whatever this is? Instead of focusing on what you feel like the other person could do.
Word. Yeah.
We're not always the best at that, obviously, which is why we had our... I was just discussing that. In our household, I'm like the only saver. And so it is very frustrating for me because then I kind of can feel like the mom to everyone sometimes. And I feel like I'll cut back on what I want to save money. And then they'll come to me like, hey, I want to do this or this or that. But the money you had allotted, you spent. And now you're cutting into my money to do the things you want to do. And I feel like I have to say yes or whatever because I don't want anybody to be upset or not have the things they want. So that's a struggle for me. And John is motivated by like getting new gadgets or gear or whatever.
Toys, son, toys.
And so like he'll go hard at work to
do what I have to do to get it.
Yeah, to like
that's all it is.
To get what he wants. But then
she's mad because I don't have the same motivation.
He doesn't get as excited about saving. And I'm like, you need to be willing to go hard to save. And he's like, yeah, that doesn't get me giddy like it does you.
It doesn't get me going. Like you.
Right.
Like you get giddy about it. I'm just like, oh, it's not that serious. But it is serious.
But it is serious. Yes. Like,
but you get real giddy. Like you just, you all like how I get.
About yourself, exactly.
Like
because what I think is when things come up or when you want to go do things, like or say like there's a trip to Europe that's like $3,000 and that's really cheap for a trip for Europe, and you have the $3,000 to buy that trip so that you don't have to spend $7,000 on it because you saved.
I get it. And I told you, we already discussed this. I mean, we just putting this on Facebook Live just to share with you guys.
We weren't finished with our discussion. You started the Facebook Live mid-discussion because I was discussing it with you.
You were discussing it with me, but I mean, usually these are
ongoing discussions.
Yes, they go on for days. You know what I'm saying?
Years.
Months and weeks and shit. Like, you know what I mean? And we gotta go back and forth with it, but it's okay. Usually when we get arguments like this, we come to a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? Then we get a breakthrough and everything just all evens out until the tension comes back again.
Our discussions usually involve a lot of laughter, which is good for us.
Yeah,
like
we
even
make
when we
jokes
get mad,
about
we start nitpicking at each other to make the other one laugh, and then it becomes like
I don't think we do it on purpose though.
No, I don't know if it's on purpose.
Because it was one time you said something and I was just like, damn, son, like I just laughed, but I didn't really want to laugh. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, like it's funny, but I'm mad right now. Like,
yeah, it's funny, but it wasn't nice.
Yeah.
So I'll work on that.
But then just the act of laughing just relieves the tension. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of works. Like OG once told me, he said that sometimes with his wife, he would just tickle her. You know what I'm saying? He would just tickle her.
Let's not adopt that.
Yeah, he would just tickle her like whoo or whatever.
About being tickled.
All right, whatever. But
trauma.
just to ease the tension, you know what I'm saying? Or have her mind not focusing on like, okay, what did he do wrong today? What, you know what I mean? So he's just like, tickle. That's hilarious. Shout out to the OG. Yes.
So, I mean, I don't exactly know how to, not fix, but like make this better. You know what I'm saying? Like, or have middle ground in terms of like saving. Because like we talked about on the last Lawal Love, if we're going to move to a better neighborhood or a new neighborhood or whatever, buy another home, we have to have savings. We have to have a system to save. We have to be diligent about our finances. And I think that you don't get blessed with more money unless you handle the money you have, you know what I'm saying, adequately.
Absolutely.
So those are the reasons that I really want to focus on saving. I was even like thinking like, we talk about sometimes having more kids, and then last night I was like, we shouldn't have any more because then we could save a lot of money. Like that's really where my mind went. And that's how serious I am about the savings. Like I'm just like trying to think of ways to cut it.
I got you, man.
So, but the problem is that you being more of a spender than I am, I get sometimes I like to spitefully spend, like because he spent this money or didn't discuss it with me. Well, then I'm gonna go spend some money, and some shit I don't even care about, and then that's not good either. Like, cause that doesn't really help the end goal. But I don't want to be feeling like I'm cutting on things I want, and then everybody else is getting what they want. That's not real.
Yeah, I get it. So we'll resolve this issue. It's no big deal.
Yes.
This issue will be resolved.
It is a big deal though because we have to figure out what our plan is.
That's what I'm saying. We'll resolve the issue and it will not become a big deal anymore.
What's the plan though?
I mean, we'll do it off camera and then we'll come back to you next week.
With the solution?
No.
Does it take us a week to come up with the solution?
No, son. I'm just saying we're going to see them next week. Like, we're going to come back next week.
Yeah, but I really want to know when we're going to discuss.
Oh, my, we can discuss it today, like afterwards.
Do you really mean that? I know it's not the most fun thing to discuss.
Yes, we'll do it. Yes.
You seem really enthusiastic about discussing
it. I told you.
You're never going to be enthusiastic about it?
I'm not saying never enthusiastic. I'm just like, worked all night. So.
I worked all night.
All right.
And got our kids ready for school. So don't be coming at me with that. Like you're the only one that work.
All right. So remember, people, happy wife, happy life.
Happy husband, one for nothing.
And don't forget to check out Two Couples in the Mic, first episode. Because the next episode is coming September 26th.
Yes.
And what's the topic again?
The topic is intimacy, like outside of sex. So all other ways.
So no lovemaking this week?
What?
No lovemaking?
No, we're going to talk about like other ways to be intimate that don't involve actually having sex with your partner. Like, and how those things can help your sexual intimacy too.
Okay. All right, cool. That will be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun topic.
Fun. Yes.
I'm glad I was able to let you know what the topic was. This is great.
No, I knew what the topic was. I wanted you to chime in so you won't be left out.
I was left out?
Yeah, I don't want to dominate the video.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would think you dominate the video. All right, so that's it. And we'll see you next week.
Yes, peace.